Accra, on travaillait avec beaucoup d'églises. On implantait, Jonas et moi, on implantait d'autres églises. JJ et Melissa nous ont invités de venir à Aneho pour commencer le ministère.
Aneho, Togo, the birthplace of voodoo, is known for being what people have called the missionary graveyard.
Nous, on évangélisait porte à porte. Aneho, c'est le fief de vaudou. Donc, lorsque nous partageons l'évangile, les cœurs sont fermés.
10% of all slaves that entered the Western Hemisphere came off the beaches of Togo and Benin. And the story is that actually because of the slave trade, they gathered up different tribes to come together into one place. It ended up birthing what eventually became known as voodoo. And they even believe that the spiritual world that they are in isn't necessarily a good one and is evil. But because of fear, we have to appease it. We talk about two kingdoms. There's the kingdom of light and the kingdom of darkness. And so we draw these circles out, even on the ground, in the dust, and say, this kingdom and how sin entered the world, that's the kingdom that you live in right now, if you don't know Christ as your Savior. And then we ask them, we invite them, would you like to step into the kingdom of light?
Il a délivré les gens de l'emprise du vaudouchisme. Il a donné la paix. Il a donné l'espoir.
Simon, he has 8 kids. Simon was a fetisher. He practiced voodoo, and his whole family did. And he came to Christ through Jonas and Naka, leading him to the Lord, and his whole family comes to Christ. And he was baptized, and he burned all of his idols. So the generations before that practiced voodoo. Those kids, they only know the gospel and the truth.
Premièrement, avant que l'église Nouvelle Vie commence, là où elle se trouve actuellement, elle a commencé dans la maison de JJ. Mais Dieu a élargi nos limites.
So New Life was planted around 2009. Today, in a 5-mile radius of New Life Church, every single household has heard the gospel.
Et c'était une joie merveilleuse de voir Dieu amener les nouvelles personnes. Les gens s'ajoutaient à l'église.
And they were just faithful in shepherding the sheep that God was giving them. But from church plant 1 to church plant 2 took 7 years.
L'église de la solution est l'église fille de l'église Nouvelle Vie. Jonas a discipulé Ben. Ben a commencé à discipuler les autres personnes, à évangéliser et à implanter l'église. Et Ben a discipulé Antoine.
From church plant 2 to 3 took another 2 years on top of that.
Antoine, il est en train de faire un travail formidable.
Around that time, this would have been 2019, we were introduced to the Timothy Initiative here in Togo. Our local leaders began to embed into this system where Pauls are training Timothys. Jonas became the first Paul for us. He started a training center and he began to train them. And so from church plant 3 to 25 was 2 years. Losing Jonas to cancer was really difficult. If Jonas was here, he would be doing a lot of the leading in certain areas and contexts. But through the suffering that Naka had to endure of losing an incredible husband, an incredible leader, as she would say, an incredible mentor to her, she has had to really rely on God.
Et quand Jonas était décédé, ses leaders n'ont pas baissé les bras.
Now we see 120 churches that have been planted over a 4-year period.
Mais il y a les pasteurs qui sont orphelins, ils n'ont pas de mentor. Et il n'y a pas l'unité, il n'y a pas la collaboration. Puisqu'il y a un adage africain qui dit, si tu veux aller vite, va seul. Mais si tu veux aller loin, il faut aller ensemble. Nous voulons aller loin. Et maintenant, nous travaillons avec les pasteurs locaux pour leur montrer mieux et ensemble. Lorsque nous allons ensemble, nous sommes mieux.
Actually, our leaders here came up with that name. The Better Together Network is all about flourishing leaders, flourishing families, flourishing churches in every single community of the voodoo capital of the world.
Avec l'homme, c'est impossible, mais nous y avançons avec foi. Parce que le Seigneur est capable.